Imagine a guy crashes a high-level diplomatic summit, face like an orange creamsicle, holding blank papers, yelling about tariffs, and saying Vladimir Putin will only talk to him. You might think it's a bad episode of a political TV show, but it's the actual president of the United States at the G7 yesterday. Now, of course, it's no surprise that Trump's behavior was embarrassing to himself, but my concern really is that it's humiliating to the United States. So here is Donald Trump explaining how Putin will only talk to Trump because he's so offended that he was thrown out of the G8 by Justin Trudeau. Little bit of a problem with that, which is it did not happen under Justin Trudeau's watch. Take a listen.
China, you're the biggest economy in the world after the United States.
Well, it's not a bad idea. I don't mind that. If somebody wants to suggest China coming in, I think we suggest. But you want to have people that you can talk to. You know, they don't talk. Putin speaks to me. He doesn't speak to anybody else. He doesn't want to talk because he was very insulted when he got thrown out of the G8, as I would be, as you would be, as anybody would be. He was very insulted. And, I mean, he was thrown out by Trudeau, who convinced one or two people, along with Obama. He was thrown out, and he's not a happy person about it, I can tell you that.
Only one little problem with this, just a teeny tiny problem. Russia was booted in 2014 for invading Crimea. Trudeau was not even the prime minister. It was Stephen Harper. These are facts that are very easy to look up unless you're sort of too busy scribbling your name with big Sharpies on blank sheets of paper and calling it a trade deal, which is part of what Donald Trump did at this completely humiliating appearance. Now, Donald Trump then was standing with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. And again, he sort of waxes poetic about when the G7 was the G8, but Trudeau didn't like it. And he sort of pulls in Russia, Ukraine into this. It's never clear what he understands or how much of this is just let me say words I recognize in English. Marco Rubio standing there maybe as the most irrelevant and impotent Secretary of State in American history.
Together very well. I look forward to that. The G7 used to be the G8. Barack Obama and a person named Trudeau didn't want to have Russia in. And I would say that that was a mistake because I think you wouldn't have a war right now if you had Russia in. And you wouldn't have a war right now if Trump were president 4 years ago. But it didn't work out that way. But it used to be the G8, and now it's, I guess, what's that, 8 years ago, it switched over. They threw Russia out, which I claimed was a very big mistake. Even though I wasn't in politics then, I was very loud about it. It was a mistake in that you spend so much time talking about Russia, and he's no longer at the table. So it makes life more complicated. But
there's an idea. Instead of blaming the attacker for the attack, you blame Justin Trudeau for kicking Russia out of the G8, even though that happened when Stephen Harper was the Prime Minister of Canada. What do you think, guys? Is this showing us Donald Trump's incredible skill and finesse when it comes to foreign policy? A pertinent question was asked. Why has there been no trade deal between the United States and Canada yet? And I'll leave it to you to decipher what Trump is saying here.
What is holding up a deal with Canada from your perspective?
It's not so much holding up. I think we have different concepts. I have a tariff concept. And Mark has a different concept, which is something that some people like. But we're going to see if we can get to the bottom of it today. I'm a tariff person. I've always been a tariff. It's simple. It's easy. It's precise. And it just goes very quickly. And I think Mark has a more complex idea, but also very good. So we're going to look at both, and we're going to see what we're going to come out with something, hopefully.
Trump chomping on quite the word salad for lunch yesterday. As you can see, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney stepping in to end this and to stop a neon orange Trump from taking more questions.
All Democrat-run cities. And they think they're going to use them to vote. It's not going to happen.
That's it. Thank you. If you don't mind, I'm going to exercise my role, if you will, as G7 chair, since we have a few more minutes with the president and his team, and then we actually have to start the meeting to address some of these big issues. So
Thank you. Thank you, media. Let's go.
There you go. And Mark Carney having to step in and say, the toddler is getting grumpy because the toddler is hungry. And so we're going to move on here. Final moment. This is horrible and funny. Our friend Pekka Kelonemi had some funny tweets about this. Trump attempting to, I guess, display some kind of agreement about something, opens up one of these little folders, these leather folders with papers. He fumbles and drops the papers while standing there with Keir Starmer. None of the papers seem to have text, only Trump's signature, and then he confuses the UK with the EU. Just humiliating and pathetic, an utter embarrassment.
The UK, and we just signed a document. This is sorry about that. This is it.
A very important document.
A little windy out here. Give me that. We just signed it, and it's done. And so we have
We signed it.
our trade agreement with the European Union, and it's a fair deal for both.
And of course, Trump wanted to say we've made a trade deal with the UK, not the European Union, even though he's also wrong about that. And the papers were blank. And Trump is not influencing policy. He wants you to believe he's brokering deals, but he's not. He's handing world leaders sheets of paper and demanding to be treated like a genius. So this is yet another opportunity where you could have shown leadership here, but it became a highlight reel of confusion, isolation, disorientation, and revisionist history. Not just a failure at the G7, but it's not that Trump didn't score any points in the game. It's that he doesn't understand the game. He's not playing the game. And everybody else is like, it's the guy who knows only how to flip over the board who's here. Trump then flying back to the United States, leaving the summit early. And when he came back, it didn't go much better. So we're going to talk about that after the break. We'll have more about this on today's newsletter, which I hope you will grab at davidpakman.substack.com. We do a daily 1-hour audio podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, know that you can get the full show on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts for free, all widely available. Let's take a quick break and be right back. If you're running a business and feeling stuck juggling the logistics, the multiple apps, programs, endless spreadsheets, manual data entry, all of this stuff, switch to Odoo, the powerful all-in-one management platform that'll give you everything you need right at your fingertips. With our sponsor, Odoo, you can say goodbye to the disconnected software, the tedious manual data entry, streamline lead scoring and inventory management. It might be accounting and manufacturing or point of sale. Odoo is completely customizable. You pick the apps you need, you tailor them to the way you like it. Experience how Odoo's flexibility can give you back time, reduce errors, and boost the bottom line. If you're ready to transform and simplify the way you run your business, you can get a 14-day free trial, no credit card needed, and your first app is free forever. Go to odoo.com/Pacman now. The link is in the description.